explain the meaning of this immediately. Yes, sir. The gist of what I'm trying to say is... probably the exact time that this shard got lodged in his pipe, I guess. That was made clear during the Garadev's testimony. At the time, I was holding my pipe like so. When I was subjected to that horrifying barrage, it flew out of my hand. Some hard object hit my pipe, knocking it out of my hand. This can't be. The fight between the Garadev couple happened at the exact same time as the crime. In her rage, Mrs. Garadev threw a knife at her husband. Then, when the knife collided with Mr. Garadev's pipe and sent it flying, the knife's tip broke off. And then, the shard that broke off the knife lodged itself inside of the flying pipe. How? It's like, it really is some sort of miracle. It's the only conceivable way that the shard could have ended up inside the pipe. Then the knife, now without its tip, flew through the open window. Thus, this broken weapon descended from the Garadev's home and stabbed the victim in the back. No way. No way! Ah. Here's another bottle. What a decadent demonstration. You've piled up countless niggling details and proudly presented the resulting heap of dust. That's a very Japanese trick, isn't it? What? What's your problem now? How it got in her back, I guess. Unfortunately for you, your demonstration is nothing more than pretense. If you're wondering why, it's because there exists a fatal contradiction in your own assertions. Huh? What? Lord Van Zieks, explain yourself. What contradiction have you found in his assertion? It's honestly very simple. How did it get lodged in her back? The victim was stabbed in the back by this knife. The back? Oh. I think I might be right, actually. Oh god. Yeah, that's right. He's absolutely right. What's the matter, darling? You're suddenly so jumpy. Try to remember the details of the case again. As the victim was walking along Briar Road, she was stabbed and collapsed on the spot. If a knife had descended from above within those circumstances, then it would be inconceivable for the knife to land in her back. Order. Yeah, of course. That's totally it. If a falling knife had stabbed her, then it would have been stuck in the very tip-top of her head, of course. But... wow, that attorney really clammed up. So that's it. I knew something was fishy about this. Well, what's the truth then? Indeed, the defense has overlooked something vital. I don't think I have. You can't call it a logical conclusion if it has even a single contradiction. Attorney, your demonstration doesn't have a leg to stand on. Oh, but it does. She bent down to pick up the book. I was so close to the truth. There shouldn't have been anything wrong with the path I was on. But now, the way is closed off by a single contradiction. In other words, if we can resolve that contradiction, the path will be cleared once more. Susato. Listen up, Naruhodo. You've just been taken by surprise, and you've turned just a little bit pale. But if you're on the right path, then I believe there has to be an answer somewhere. Somewhere in the information recorded in the court record. It looks like our Japanese boy has finally run out of rebuttals. There's only one thing that your silence whispers to us. It says that you've accepted your own assertions as false. Aha! The contradiction isn't because I'm wrong. It's just another challenge. To make my case even more well-honed. Hey, he's got that desk slam down. You're not wrong. There's no way that a falling knife could stab an upright person in the back. That is, in a normal situation. Haha. What? What are you talking about, defense? A certain piece of evidence tells the story. It tells us how. A falling knife could end up in the victim's back. I was right! Oh my god, I think I am right. What are you saying? What kind of nonsense trick is this? It seems this is the last time I'll have to say this today. Defense, I order you to present your evidence. Is he gonna slap himself? This is the final contradiction. If I can clear this up, then one final undeniable truth will remain. Here's the evidence that proves how the falling knife fell into the victim's back. The book. It landed on the floor. Wood looked a bit odd. She saw it, bent down to pick it up. She grabbed hold of it, and the knife stuck her in the back and she collapsed. The fourth book, discovered on the scene of the crime, explains it all. This is it. This is the final piece of evidence that the defense will present. This burnt book? That book was from the Garadeb home, correct? If you take a look at this photo of the crime scene, it tells you exactly where the book was present at the scene. The victim was holding Mr. Garadeb's book in her hand. However, if you recall, the constable testified that he placed the book in her hand. No, he didn't. That would be referring to when he moved the crime scene to the opposite footpath, yes. He didn't say that, though. He said that was exactly how he found her. How about that? Patrolman O'Malley gave us a vital piece of testimony alongside that. But why did you leave this book in the victim's hand? Huh? Well, that's just how I found it. When we ran over to the crime scene, the victim was holding onto this book. So when I moved her, I just left her the same as I found her, holding the book. In other words, the victim picked up that book by her own volition. So obviously, she picked it up before she was stabbed by the knife. That does make sense. When you've got a knife in your back, that's definitely not the time to be reading. So why, in the first place, did the victim pick up the book? Oh, I think I know. I think I can imagine a reason why. Huh? We know that this book fell from the landlord's flat on the 3rd floor to the ground. Furthermore, that was almost exactly the same time that the incident occurred. Exactly. They were at the same time. The victim was walking through the foggy London night on the pavement of Briar Road. As she walked on, suddenly, a book fell right in front of her. The book that I threw. Mrs. Garadeb, put yourself in her shoes for a moment. Imagine you were walking along when suddenly a book fell before you. Well, I can't exactly imagine that happening, but I suppose I'd probably reach out my hand, bend down and pick it up. And I'd pick the poor book up, of course. There it is. I was right. And that's our answer. She picked it up. A book fell from the sky in front of her, and of course, she reached out to pick it up. What do you think she might have looked like in this situation? Her back was pointing to the sky, completely defenseless, as she bent over. And in the next instant, while she picked it up, there it is. The knife, following the book, descended directly into her back. But that's not all. Not far behind Viridian was another person walking on Briar Road. That would be the defendant, Suzuki Natsume. Oh! What Suzuki witnessed at that moment was the victim suddenly collapsing to the ground. In that wispy fog, he failed to see the knife falling from the sky. In that case, the constable and his wife wouldn't have witnessed anyone else on the scene. And it's all because there was no criminal to flee from the scene, or to flee the scene. This case is just a tragic accident. It's a result of a chain of coincidences on coincidences. That's the very truth of the stabbing of Viridian Green. So there is no criminal. Joan shouldn't get charged, when it was quite literally just an accident. Does that sound right, Garrett? Thankfully, Viridian Green didn't die. When you first revealed that knife, I started to realise. Maybe that's really what happened. Darling. Joan. I know, whether it was on purpose or not doesn't really matter. What I've done is still a crime, right? I confess to it all. That night, as I was blinded by rage, I threw that book at my husband. And then I threw the knife, too. Dear. You don't have to say it, I know. I'm so sorry. Sorry. I'm so sorry. And she collapses. He's gonna catch her. Did he catch her? Yeah, I knew it! Oh god, his knees! Oh my god. And there it is! Lord Van Zeeks, how is Mrs. Garrett doing? She was taken to a bed in emergency care. I'm told that the situation is hectic at the moment. But there shouldn't be any problems, things will calm down soon. Unfortunately, they wrought this tragedy with their own hands. They will need to resolve this to stand and face it together. I'm not sure if one might call this a dark cloud silver lining, but according to a report from the hospital, the victim is on the road to recovery. It seems to be just a matter of time before she regains her senses. We still don't know a thing about her, huh? Still, it's great that she survived this ordeal. Yeah, you're right. And as for you, defendant, Suzuki Natsume. Oh, okay. Yes, sir. On behalf of the Ministry of Justice, I wish to issue an apology to you. You journeyed to Great Britain from so far in order to study in peace. Yet we have only caused you an immeasurable suffering. We are deeply sorry for this. I cannot accept, for the one who must apologize is me. Suzuki? That night, a poor young lady had fallen before my eyes. But in my hysterical horror at what lay before me, I made a terrible mistake. What mistake? I thought that fine lady had died. Well, Patrolman Pat thought so as well. She did seem pretty dead, I guess. It has been a year since my arrival. I was still yet to acclimatise to life in the Imperial City. My days were dismal. It was as if the spirits of the fog of London, damp and dreary, had come. Suzuki does seem like a really sensitive guy. What a poignant image. And it was the same then. I thought she was bewitched by the very same malevolent spirits. I know that dropping my books and fleeing the scene wasn't what I should have done. I should have done nothing other than call a doctor and notify the police of what happened. As an exchange student, I've dealt a terrible blow to the trust between our great empires. Thus, I must offer my deepest apologies. Wow. As far as I can see, the essence of this case seems to be an apparition of an interwoven chain of misfortunes. Manipulated by this apparition, we were ready to rush to a mistaken verdict. Lord Van Zeeks, and you, attorney who voyaged from Japan to the British Empire. You two are responsible for breaking that chain. This was absolutely a model trial. Thank you, my lord. Now, sage citizens of the jury. Yes, my lord. The court has decided that now is the time for for this trial to end. We request your final verdict. Speaking as the foreman, I only wish to arrive at a dignified verdict. The truth is often cruel, isn't it? I didn't think this would end with us losing a juror. Oh. I stand here now as my wife's messenger. It's about time, now I can finally get to work, right? This will be a nice story for my grandchildren. No, jurors, the time has come. Oh, they're gonna say not guilty. Present your final verdicts to the court, so they usually say you say. What? Oh, they say you say regardless. Oh. You say. Huh. So guilty and not guilty are the same. Yeah, nice. 'Tis a victory. I will now deliver the verdict to the defendant, Susuke Natsume. Not guilty! Da -da -da -da. This was a long time coming. I finished the case! Woo! We only have one more, and then the game is done. I'm gonna be sad that Ace Attorney's finished. I really am. Well, at least until the second game gets translated. One more thing, defendant. Yes, my lord. You're now a free man once again. I hope you will endeavour to bridge the gap between our two cultures. And be sure that you never find yourself in this courtroom again. Yes, yes, of course. I, Susuke Natsume, do solemnly swear. I am so moved. Oh boy. With this, today's trial comes to a close. Hooray! God damn. That was a doozy. That was a right doozy. Oh, substitute. I have a name. Huh? You mean me? Of course I do. Are there any other substitutes here? I wouldn't really know. We've come a long way from substitute law student Naruhodo, haven't we? I would have preferred if we arrive at just Naruhodo instead. Oh, my name is finally absolved of all doubt. Heart full of glee. Laugh loud and free. Oh my god. He seems really happy. I can tell since he said laugh. It would be a lot easier to tell if he actually laughed, though. Oh, substitute, you've really done it. You salvaged my life from the rubble. It wasn't me. You're free because you didn't hurt anyone. It's great that everyone else has come to see that too. No, you see, you've got the wrong idea. Dear substitute. Yes? I said this before, but I never could come to love London. On the roads, I look around and see only foreigners. In the sky, only brick skyscrapers. The Brits look down on me from above. They point and laugh. Look at that dwarf. I think I'm just imagining that. However, today you have pulled me out of my tiny hole of depression. You stood on the grand stage against those Brits, and you didn't dare retreat. In equal battle, you fought with your words to unveil the truth unbeknown. Or unknown. When I saw those great fireworks launched in the Crown Court, my heart cried for joy. Mankind is great. We're both grateful to hear you say that. My old friends in Japan will be delighted to hear about this misadventure when I go home. Huh? Go home? Oh hey, I've been looking for you three. Sherlock. Called it. Sorry to keep you waiting. I happened to oversleep just a bit. Why, if it isn't Mr. Holmes, God. Why did you call him Sherlock Holmes and Sherlock Holmes? Jesus. Well, that was close. Looks like I made it just in time. Looks like the court's about to be in session. I know you've got this, Master Naruhodo. Actually, the trial just ended. What? How? I was in such a rush for nothing then. It's you damn monster. The Sherlock Holmes. I'm sorry, have we met? This is Susuke. You do remember arresting him, right? Oh, that's right. I didn't recognize him. He's always hiding out in his little basement of a flat. Or in his dank little jail cells. What's he doing in a brightly lit room like this? I had no idea who he was. Wow. He could be a little less rude. Curse you, the Sherlock Holmes. It's all your fault that this happened to me. I've got a whole mountain of things I need to say to you. No, wait. Sorry, I got it now. You must be... the man that ran off from that crime scene. You abandoned that poor victim. Huh? If you'd taken her to a hospital instead... by now, she probably would have been awake again. Oh no, he's just pouring salt in the wound. But oh well, I figure it was inevitable for her to end up this way anyway. We're all the same, you know. Something like that is just too much of a fright. I'm honestly very sorry for what I did. Good. By the way, you said there was a mountain of things you needed to say. No, I suppose not. Oh, I'm so sorry. You're just too funny for me to handle. Poor Suzuki. Come on, look at the bright side. What a pleasant experience, right? And all for free. And from what I can see, you've been declared not guilty. I'm still not safe. Whatever do you mean? I knew it all along. I'm cursed. Cursed by these damnable spirits. And cursed by the Grim Reaper himself. Oh! Prosecutor Barak van Zieks. I'll never forget what I heard when the prosecutor is in court. Even if you're not guilty, you're doomed to a terrible demise. No, Suzuki, you'll be fine. Huh? Even if some sort of unruly bringer of death appears before us, I, Susato, will not fail to keep you safe from harm. Oh my god, she threw Naruhodo. Are you kidding? You're a bitch. I'll get a taste of my special move, the Susato toss. You could at least warn me before you do that, Susato. And we end the trial with a very nice headache. Oh. So, Suzuki, what are you gonna do now? You mentioned going home a while ago. Before long, I plan to go home to the Japanese Empire. Huh? It's been a whole year since I first arrived in the British Empire. Going to university, living on my professor's teachings, visiting the libraries and bookshops. I've come to know this wonderful world of literature, along with the city it was born from. And I realise that my mission is to teach the art empire about this culture. Suzuki. So, put simply, you've gotten cold feet at the thought of the Grim Reaper's curse. Is that right? No, you see, you've got the wrong idea. The more I learn about literature, the more these strange emotions well up within me. When I return home, I wish to write something with my own two hands. Really? I'd love to read one of Suzuki's novels someday. Now, Master Naruhodo and Miss Susato, what are your plans? Our plans? Are you going back to Japan with that mustachioed gentleman? Why would we do that? We haven't even been in London for a week now. No, our trip has only just begun. I suppose you've been staying in a hotel then? Yeah, we're trying to find a cheap place to live before we go bankrupt. According to our calculations, our allowance will vanish entirely in about 10 days. Oh, if you'd like, you're free to take my flat. Your room doesn't have any windows, right? Yeah, that's true. But the floor, walls, and ceiling are all in perfect order. Ugh. And there's more. You'll never be alone because spirits will be there to curse you. Spirits? Indeed. When you're sound asleep at night, a spirit suddenly rings, or rings your neck. What a refreshing way to start the day. I'll need some time to think about it, first. I've got a proposal for you two. How would you like to stay at my home for a while? Really? You see, our home has a bit of a vacancy. Even if you'd just be taking the attic. Can you really call that a vacancy? We talked it over with the landlord this morning, and now Iris is cleaning it up. You should come as soon as you can. I doubt you have any luggage, right? Oh my, what a lovely proposal. We get to live in the attic of a world-famous detective's home. So many emotions are welling up inside me. We graciously accept. I don't suppose I even have the option to look to look elsewhere now. Alright, it's decided then. Tonight, Iris will be flexing her cooking muscles for a big welcome dinner. Mr. Suzuki, you're free to come over as well. I do appreciate the offer. Well then. I'll be working on the paperwork for Suzuki's acquittal. Sister looks so excited. Substitute. I knew I was right to choose you. I'm so glad that I could meet someone like you in this foggy city. I feel the same way, Suzuki. It's just sad that we already have to say goodbye. I've realised that I belong in Japan. Substitute, one day I swear, we will meet again. Of course. I hope I can call myself a full-fledged attorney by then. Perhaps by then, I'll have the air of a competent author. Alright, you two. Our coach has arrived. We should get going soon, Master Naruhodo. Okay, Mr. Holmes. Hopefully, Mr. Suzuki will be acquitted in time to make it for dinner. There we go. Cutscene? And so... the curtain closed on Suzuki's trial. The three of us boarded a coach and set off for Baker Street. Cutscene? Cutscene! Cutscene! Yeah, cutscene. Nice. Oh, not a cutscene. When I said cutscene, I also meant transition. Alright, we're in the attic. My god, I'm getting Persona 5 flashbacks. So, this is it. It's our new office. Our own office, huh? I like that. It's got a nice ring to it. It does. This is like a dream come true. Do you see this, Suzuki? It's only a small one. But I feel like I've come one step closer to fulfilling your dream. What do you think, you two? Do you love it, or do you love it? Whoa! Mr. Holmes, thank you so much for this. Holy crap, he looks completely different. It's such a charming little room. I'm positively overwhelmed with glee. That's great. Iris and I are glad you're here too. Come on everyone, it's almost time for supper. When Uncle Suzuki gets here, we're having a big party. Ah, Miss Iris, I would just love to help you prepare. Okay. Then, Susie, you can make the salad. Alright. So, how does it feel, Master Naruhodo? You've established your very own office in London. I can't stop trembling from the excitement. Along with the thought of what might be waiting for us in this city. That's exactly how I felt when I opened my own office here. That is, until I came to know of the darkness lurking in this foggy city. Huh? London is praised for being the brightest, most prosperous imperial capital of all. However, as the flame of London burns brighter and brighter, the shadow cast by its light grows into an ever greater darkness. What's that supposed to mean? Well, I'm sure you'll find out for yourself in due time, just how deep the darkness goes. Now, I believe this bears repeating. Welcome to London, Master Naruhodo. There we go! At that point, there was no way I could have truly understood Mr. Holmes's words. No, it would be just a short while longer, before I would peer into the abyss with my own eyes. The end. No cutscene. What the hell? That took a long time. Like, post-episode? The ending of it took ages to get through. And there it is. The adventure of the unspeakable story, The Hound of the Baskervilles. A new episode has been added. Would you like to save? Of course, of course. That was a really good trial. I was gonna say I kinda wish I got to it sooner, but every single part of it took an hour and a half, so I'd have had to have recorded for 3 hours. I just thought, I think the first time when I started the trial, it was quite late, and so I was already kind of tired, so that's why I did an hour and a half to begin with. Never mind. So it was a 6-hour case. Not too shabby. Alright. Well, regardless, that is going to be the end of the session. Next session, on to the final episode, which I know is a doozy, because it always is. But regardless, that is going to be the end of the session. Thanks so much for watching, I hope you have enjoyed, and until next time, take care.